Hello there, welcome back to another video, and this is a special video of a kind because after months of hard work I finally have a beautiful modern barbershop fragrance for you, a bespoke creation from the house of Perfume Experience just for a selected few, right? So we've done a lot of trials for this kind of a fragrance, and like most of you know, I love barbershop fragrances, and I've been recommending a lot of barbershop fragrances as well. But then, especially from an Indian house, I found it quite difficult to get some things produced like Old Denim or Beau de Jour, all of these kind of fragrances to be available for mass market, especially because of the delayed response and shipping and all of those things. And for these reasons itself, I've been wanting to create a barbershop fragrance for a really long time, and finally, with the launch of our inspired fragrances, working with multiple perfumers, it kind of gave way to create something. And after trying out a lot of variations of a lot of barbershop fragrances, I'm happy to announce that finally we have something that is absolutely wonderful in my opinion, and I will give you a complete rundown of the notes and of the way the fragrance smells, and an option for you to get a free sample of it as well, so that you can actually go ahead and get this fragrance, because this is unlike all of the other fragrances that I have in my inspired fragrances. Will not be a fragrance that's going to be available all throughout. It is going to be a limited edition fragrance, only 100 bottles of either 50 or 100, that is something that you would be able to choose, but only 100 bottles will be available. So it is going to be a limited edition bespoke barbershop fragrance for a modern man in you, and it is going to be called the Gentleman's Reserve, right? So let's get into this particular video and I'll explain a lot more about it. Let's get going right after this intro. Alright, welcome back. So this is going to be the artwork, or this is how the bottle is going to look like. This is a sample bottle that we are giving away. So this is what you can see. The juice that you will have here is about 2 ml of juice, and the fragrance is going to be called Gentleman's Reserve limited edition. Okay, and why Gentleman's Reserve is because I felt this fragrance is designed specifically for a modern gentleman. All of us, whether we are youth, whether we are matured adults, or whether we are older people, we have as men a gentleman quality in us, whether that comes out while being with your fiance, while being with your family, or being with as a sportsman in a club or wherever that is. But we do have a quality of gentleman that we that women look up to us, and this is a fragrance that is going to embody that sentiment, right? So this is called Gentleman's Reserve because of that polished, clean, gentlemanly attitude that we have, and that is something, a very masculine fougere fragrance that we've kind of created on that basis. And this, I'm very happy to say that this is going to be the first bespoke fragrance from the house of Perfume Experience. There are going to be more that will come out eventually, but all of them are going to be limited edition because we want to make it exclusive, we want to make it something unique, we want to make it very value for money like our inspired fragrances. That is going to be the idea behind creating anything that we do. All right, so what does this have? Okay, so let me give you a scent profile, or let me give you a quick rundown of notes. Before we even go to the notes part, let me give you a story or a backstory of the creation of this particular fragrance. Now, a lot of you know, like I said earlier, that I love barbershop fragrances, whether it is Jovan Mask, whether it is Tom Ford's Beau de Jour, Old Spice, Denim, Givenchy Gentleman, any of these fragrances. I absolutely love any of these fragrances. And something about this invokes a kind of charm, especially something that we very go to a salon. I just been to a salon to get my beard trimmed, and when you put on that powder or the aftershave at that place, you kind of get a nostalgic feeling. You get a sense of feeling that is very manly, something masculine, something very different, difficult to explain. When you put on a fragrance like let's say a citrus fragrance or a floral fragrance, that way you don't get that oomph as such, and that is only kind of gotten in a certain type of fragrances. For somebody it is ouds, or somebody it is a tobacco fragrance. For a lot of you it could be a barbershop fragrance. Now for the ones who don't know what a barbershop fragrance is, it's basically a fragrance that will remind you of the smells that you kind of get in a saloon, the oils, the aftershaves, the powders, all of that, what you get, that is what we are looking at. Now I have been wanting to get something like this which is unique, okay, which should have a essence of how a vetiver fragrance comes across, or how a lavender or a basil comes across, or a fougere part of the fragrance chemistry, like the citruses, like the bergamot, like lavender, like jasmine, all of that coming together, but still giving you something very unique. Now in this quest, I've been wanting to create something, and like this, I've been working with multiple perfumers to try out something unique, okay, something that is not available in the market, but yet classifies as a barbershop fragrance. Now, with a lot of trials and error, with a lot of samples that I've tried out from different set of people, I finally kind of liked something which has a charisma of a modern man wearing a gentleman's tuxedo, okay, wearing a fragrance that is masculine, that is seductive, that could be a signature smell, that could last long, that could project like crazy, and at the same time be a bridge between old school fragrance and a modern man of today. And that's how the embodiment of this scent is, and that is what I wanted to kind of bring out in a fragrance. And finally, with the Gentleman's Reserve, here we are on the creation of this. It's taken quite a bit of time to actually get to this point where we are actually creating this, because all of the other ones that I've tried either smelled like something already that existed in the market, or smelled like something that we already know is very generic, okay. So the idea was definitely to create something unique and different, and yet it could fit into the realm of barbershop fragrances. Now what does this have? So this basically opens with a citrus note of bergamot, it has basil, it has orange, okay. So those are some citrus notes that you would get, followed by a lot of powdery elements like lavender, you have chamomile, you have vetiver, and then you have a lot of woody elements, you have woods, you have violet leaf, you have jasmine, you have sage, and then you also have ambroxan, okay. So that is the entire note profile. So you will have the similar fougere elements of the citruses that are there, you will have a lot of powdery elements coming from sage, you will have lavender, you will have the woody elements, you will have a little bit of that tea note coming from that chamomile, and then of course you do have a good amount of dry down coming from woody elements, like especially like vetiver, like the dry woods that are there, even some things like a pencil shaving, or even a ink profile. But having said all of these ingredients or the note profile, the way this fragrance smells for me is like you will find a good amount of basil, you will find a good amount of citrus juiciness, you will find a little bit of spicier elements like the clear sage, like the lavender coming across, popping right up to your face. And then you will almost feel like this is coming out like an inky note, like the pen's ink note that you would see, or a note that's coming from Encre Noir kind of a fragrance where you have that ink note along with a little bit of that pencil shaving. That is the scent profile that you would get right when you spray the fragrance. Now as it transitions into the dry down, you get a little bit more of that vetiver, you get a little more of the dry woody elements, and then the spicier elements, and somewhere in this entire thing you will find a light into floral vibe of jasmine going across. But when you smell it, it's up mostly lavender, basil, light citrusy elements, and a lot of dry woody elements, something totally unique that you will actually able to smell. Now what makes this the best selection that we have had of all of the trials that we have done is that the way this performs. It is killer in its performance, because this thing is super strong. Although this is made at only 27% concentration, the way this kind of projects is like, if you are a normal person who likes loud fragrances, then this is right up your alley. This is a loud beast, okay. But if you're somebody who loves soft, gentle fragrances, then I guess this might not be for you, okay. Having said that, if you are doing 10 to 12 sprays, typically I would say do only about 5 sprays here, because this is quite strong that way. It projects for about 2.5, 3 feet plus for about 1 to 1.5 hours time. It is on your clothes for 7, 8 hours and beyond, and projects for a very long time. In my opinion, a little linear is what I would say. The way the scent profile opens, it's kind of, projects that exact same way. Only after about 3 to 4 hours time, the lavender and the basil note kind of, come down, and the dry woody elements, and along with that vetiver, all of those things kind of, push up a little bit and gets into a dry down. You do not get that barbershop powderiness that you get with typical fragrances like Roja Danger, or think about Old Spice. None of that kind of an element. It is not sweet. It is lavender, basil, orange enhanced, light woody dry elements, and that's the way I would kind of describe this scent for me. Because of all of the fragrances that I've tried, this one kind of hit the mark for me, and I've been testing it, trying it for more than 1.5 to 2 months time at this point of time, and I finally have something that is absolutely wonderful. Now, coming to the buying part of this particular fragrance, or how we are going to help you get it. Now, like I said, this is going to be a sample that is going to be created for you. Okay, so we are going to make, or we have made 180 samples. Okay, so you will get a free sample. All you have to do is just pay for the shipping, which is 99 rupees. Okay, and you will get 1.5 to 2 ml. Mostly consider it as 2 ml. Mostly it is a 2 ml vial. Okay, but probably it's about 1.8 to 2 ml in most cases. So you will get a 2 ml vial starting from the 5th of May until the 15th of May. You can go ahead and apply, you can book your free sample. The website will also be open for you to choose between a 50 and a 100 ml juice as well. Okay, then I'll tell you how that's going to be. So we are going to make, like I said, only 100 bottles of them, and each bottle is going to be marked with a number as well. So you might get 1 of 100, 2 of 100, so forth, 100 bottles. Now you can choose whether you want a 50 ml or a 100 ml, of a fragrance. Now you can choose to book this until the 15th. That means within the 15th, you can order for the sample, try the fragrance, and then book your 100 ml or a 50 ml. Or you can, if you're willing to try a blind buy, then definitely go ahead and book your 50 or 100 ml straight away. Not a problem at all. But the shipping of these fragrances will only happen on the 20th onwards. Okay, so 20th May onwards is when the shipping of the fragrance will happen. Samples will be good to go starting from 6th of May. We are going to give you this, ship the samples across. Now the price point of these fragrances are going to be, the 50 ml is going to be created. We have tried our best so that this does not exceed that benchmark figure of that I have had in mind for a long time as a decent figure for a 50 ml fragrance, and that's going to be 1,500 rupees. So this 50 ml is going to be available for 1,499, and the 100 ml is going to be available for 2,499. So there you go. So you can go ahead and choose to order your fragrance, okay, after testing it out, trying it out, and if you like the scent profile, go ahead and then place your order for either a 50 ml or a 100 ml. And like I said, we are going to make only 100 units of these. Okay, that's about 5 liters of juice, because some of the ingredients that we have is expensive, some of the ingredients is difficult to come by. So we are not going to repeat this until maybe another year. So once this 100 bottles finish off, then you will not probably find this fragrance for a very long time, until we probably bring it back in a second batch in the next year. Okay, so that is what makes this a very bespoke, limited edition, unique, modern barbershop fragrance that I would absolutely want you to try, smell it, because you're going to experience something totally unique, something totally different, and something that you are absolutely going to enjoy is what I would say, something that might also become your signature scent as well. And I am going to bring a lot more fragrances, especially like this barbershop fragrances as well. I do have some other things in mind, but those will not be bespoke, those will be repeats and all of that as such. But only the Gentleman Reserve is going to be a bespoke barbershop fragrance that you can get, and limited number of 100 units only, and I'm hoping that you will like it. I will make the link available for you to try it. Give us your feedback and let us know what you liked of the fragrance, what you did not like, what could be better, and all of that. We will take in all of those feedback from you, because we definitely want to make something for you, and I'm very happy to bring you gentleman's reserve.